He was just a boy thrust onto the world's biggest stage, a boy king ruling a kingdom steeped in centuries of tradition and power. His name, Tutankhamun. But to the world he'd become a legend, King Tut. His reign was short, his impact immeasurable. Join us now as we journey back in time, back to the Valley of the Kings, to uncover the truth behind the legend. This is the story of King Tut, the boy who ruled an empire and whose tomb lay undisturbed for millennia. Imagine a land bathed in the golden glow of the sun, where the mighty Nile River snakes its way through a vast desert. This is the land of ancient Egypt, a civilization that thrived for over 3,000 years, a land where pharaohs, considered living gods, ruled with absolute power. Our story takes place in the heart of this empire, in the city of Thebes. Here, amidst the towering temples and colossal statues, young Tutankhamun began his reign. But beneath the surface of this splendor, a storm was brewing. Political unrest and religious upheaval threatened to shatter the fragile peace. Before Tutankhamun's time, his father, Akhenaten, had shaken the very foundations of Egyptian society. He had replaced the traditional pantheon of gods with the worship of a single deity, the sun god Aten. This radical shift in religious practice caused widespread unrest and upheaval. Art and culture were transformed as well, reflecting the new religious doctrine. The boy king, guided by advisors, reversed his father's radical reforms, returning to the worship of the old gods and restoring their temples. This period of restoration was marked by a return to traditional artistic styles and a renewed focus on the grandeur of the pharaoh's power. Yet, amidst this return to normalcy, young Tutankhamun's reign would be tragically cut short. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation and intrigue for centuries to come. Tutankhamun's story begins not with his birth, but with the legacy he was born into. He was descended from a long line of pharaohs, rulers considered divine, their bloodline sacred. His grandfather, Amenhotep III, presided over a period of unprecedented prosperity and artistic achievement. Amenhotep III's reign saw the construction of magnificent temples, colossal statues, and opulent palaces. However, the seeds of change were sown during the reign of Tutankhamun's father, Akhenaten. A pharaoh driven by radical religious beliefs, Akhenaten sought to overturn centuries of tradition by introducing the worship of a single god, Aten. Akhenaten's reforms, though short-lived, would have a lasting impact on the reign of his young son, Tutankhamun. Born into this tumultuous period, Tutankhamun's early life remained shrouded in mystery. His birth name, Tutankhaten, meaning living image of Aten, reflected his father's fervent devotion to the sun god. As a young prince, Tutankhamun would have been surrounded by tutors and advisors, steeped in the traditions and protocols of ancient Egyptian royalty. However, the young prince's life took an unexpected turn with the death of his father, Akhenaten. With Akhenaten's death, the throne of Egypt passed to the young Tutankhamun, a boy thrust into the center of a kingdom in turmoil. Tutankhamun inherited a kingdom grappling with the aftershocks of Akhenaten's radical reforms. The religious landscape was fractured, the priesthood of the old gods eager to reclaim their former power and influence. The young pharaoh, barely a teenager, found himself at the heart of this struggle, a pawn in a power game orchestrated by powerful advisors and ambitious priests. His reign marked a period of restoration, a return to the traditional religious practices and political structures that had defined Egypt for centuries. Temples dedicated to the old gods were restored, their defaced images repaired, and their priests reinstated to positions of power and influence. Despite his young age, Tutankhamun assumed the mantle of pharaoh with all the pomp and ceremony befitting his divine status. He was crowned in a lavish ceremony, adorned in gold and precious jewels, and presented to his subjects as the living embodiment of Horus, the falcon god. His reign, though brief, saw the restoration of stability and order following the upheaval of his father's reign. Tutankhamun's youth and inexperience meant that he relied heavily on the counsel of his advisors, powerful figures who had navigated the treacherous waters of Akhenaten's reign. Among these figures were Tutankhamun's great-uncle and a high-ranking official, and Horemheb, the commander of the army. Despite his efforts to restore stability and order, Tutankhamun's reign was tragically cut short. He died at the young age of 18 or 19 under circumstances that remain shrouded in mystery and speculation. Some theories suggest that Tutankhamun died from an infection following a broken leg, possibly sustained in a chariot accident. Others point to evidence of a blow to the head, hinting at the possibility of foul play. Was Tutankhamun the victim of an accident, or was his death the result of a sinister plot? The whispers of conspiracy echo through the corridors of time. The year was 1323 BC. Tutankhamun, the boy king who had ruled Egypt for a fleeting decade, was dead. His sudden and unexpected passing sent shockwaves through the royal court, leaving a void in the seat of power. The official records offer few clues, shrouded in the cryptic language of ancient rituals and the passage to the afterlife. What we do know is that Tutankhamun's death was unexpected, his burial rushed, as if the royal court was caught off guard. This haste, coupled with the unusual layout and incomplete nature of his tomb, has fueled centuries of speculation. Among the various theories surrounding Tutankhamun's death, one of the most compelling revolves around a severe injury to his left leg. Discovered during the examination of his mummified remains, the break was significant, a clean fracture above the knee. Some experts believe that this injury was sustained in a chariot accident, a plausible scenario given the pharaoh's love for the hunt. The impact of such an injury on Tutankhamun's health would have been significant. Could this seemingly mundane injury have ultimately led to the young pharaoh's demise? While the broken leg theory holds weight, it hasn't silenced the whispers of foul play that have surrounded Tutankhamun's death for centuries. The suddenness of his passing, coupled with the political intrigue that often plagued the Egyptian court, has fueled speculation that the young pharaoh may have been murdered. Adding fuel to these suspicions is the discovery of a significant head wound on Tutankhamun's mummified remains. Could this be evidence of a struggle, a desperate attempt by the young pharaoh to defend himself against an attacker? The list of potential suspects in Tutankhamun's murder reads like a who's who of ancient Egyptian power players. Adding another layer of complexity to the mystery of Tutankhamun's death is the growing body of evidence suggesting that the young pharaoh was, in fact, a rather sickly individual. Genetic analysis of his mummified remains has revealed a number of inherited ailments that likely plagued him throughout his short life. These ailments included a clubfoot, a cleft palate, and a debilitating bone disease known as Kolar disease. The genetic analysis also revealed that Tutankhamun suffered from malaria, a mosquito-borne illness that was prevalent in ancient Egypt. While it's impossible to say with certainty whether these health issues directly contributed to Tutankhamun's death, they undoubtedly played a role in his overall well-being. The death of Tutankhamun, while a tragedy in its own right, has become a source of endless fascination for archaeologists, historians, and armchair detectives alike. The circumstances surrounding his demise remain shrouded in mystery, a tangle of tantalizing clues and conflicting evidence. Was he the victim of a freak accident, his leg shattered in a chariot crash, his body succumbing to infection? Or was his death a more sinister affair, a carefully orchestrated plot? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, a tragic confluence of factors. A frail pharaoh plagued by genetic ailments and weakened by disease. Whatever the true cause of his death, Tutankhamun's legacy extends far beyond the confines of his tomb. For centuries, the secrets of ancient Egypt lay buried beneath the sands of time, hidden from the prying eyes of the modern world. The Valley of the Kings, a desolate yet majestic expanse nestled on the west bank of the Nile River, held within its embrace the tombs of pharaohs, queens, and nobles. These tombs, carved deep into the heart of the Theban hills, were not meant to be found. Their entrances, carefully concealed and guarded by curses whispered through the ages, held the promise of untold treasures. Among these was the tomb of the boy king, Tutankhamun, a resting place seemingly forgotten by history, its location a tantalizing enigma for those brave enough to seek it. Enter Howard Carter, a British archaeologist possessed by an unyielding passion for ancient Egypt and an unshakable belief that the tomb of Tutankhamun, despite decades of fruitless searching by others, remained to be found. Armed with this conviction and the unwavering support of his patron, Lord Carnarvon, Carter embarked on a quest that would consume him for years. Year after year, Carter and his team toiled beneath the scorching Egyptian sun, their picks and shovels slowly revealing the secrets of the Valley of the Kings. They endured setbacks, disappointments, and the skepticism of their peers, their faith in Carter's vision tested time and again. Just when their hopes began to dwindle, when even Carnarvon's patience and financial resources seemed stretched to their limits, a breakthrough emerged from the sands. A seemingly insignificant find, a collection of stone steps leading down into the earth, ignited a spark of hope in Carter's heart. Could this be the moment he had been waiting for? Could this unassuming staircase lead to the resting place of the boy king, a tomb untouched for millennia, its treasures awaiting their moment to be revealed to the world? With bated breath and trembling hands, Carter ordered the final layer of rubble removed, revealing a sealed doorway, its plaster still intact after more than 3,000 years. A thrill shot through him as he realized the magnitude of what lay before him. This was no ordinary tomb, ransacked by robbers and ravaged by time. This was something truly extraordinary. Carefully, he created a small opening in the upper left-hand corner of the doorway, just large enough to insert a candle and peer inside. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, a gasp escaped his lips. The antechamber, though partially filled with debris, hinted at the wonders that lay within. Golden chariots, shimmering statues, and chests overflowing with treasures met his gaze. The air, heavy with the scent of incense and the passage of time, seemed to crackle with the weight of history. At that moment, Carter knew that he had stumbled upon one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all time. The tomb of Tutankhamun, lost to the world for centuries, had finally revealed itself, its treasures preserved in a state of remarkable preservation, a snapshot of a vanished world frozen in time. Section 4, Treasures of a Lost World. As Carter and his team carefully documented and removed the contents of the tomb over the next several years, the world watched in astonishment. The sheer volume and opulence of the treasures found within Tutankhamun's resting place surpassed even their wildest imaginations. The antechamber alone yielded a staggering array of artifacts: gilded chariots, statues of guardians and deities, chests overflowing with jewelry, weapons, and clothing, and countless other objects intended to accompany the boy king on his journey to the afterlife. Beyond the antechamber lay the burial chamber itself, its walls adorned with vibrant paintings depicting scenes from the Amduat, the ancient Egyptian book of the underworld. And at the heart of this chamber, encased within a series of gilded shrines, lay the mummy of Tutankhamun, his face covered by the now iconic golden funerary mask. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was more than just a treasure hunt. It was a window into a lost world, a glimpse into the beliefs, rituals, and artistic achievements of one of history's most enduring civilizations. Section 5. A Golden King Unveiled. The removal of Tutankhamun's mummy from its nested sarcophagi and the subsequent examination of his remains provided further insights into the life and death of the boy king. His frail physique, preserved for millennia by the arid desert climate and the meticulous embalming techniques of the ancient Egyptians, revealed the physical ailments he had endured during his short life. The discovery of a fractured skull, along with other injuries, reignited the debate surrounding the cause of his death. Was it an accident, as some believed, or could there be more to the story, a hint of foul play hidden within the boy king's tomb? Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his death, Tutankhamun's legacy was forever altered by the discovery of his tomb. No longer a shadowy figure relegated to footnotes in history books, he became a global icon, his golden mask a symbol of ancient Egypt's enduring allure. The treasures of his tomb, meticulously preserved and displayed in museums around the world, continue to captivate and inspire, offering a tangible link to a civilization that flourished thousands of years ago, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Section 1. Echoes of Youth. Amidst the opulence and grandeur of Tutankhamun's tomb, amidst the golden chariots and shimmering treasures, lay poignant reminders of a life cut short. Scattered throughout the burial chambers were objects that spoke not of a mighty pharaoh, but of a young man robbed of his future. Delicate linens, woven with intricate patterns, hinted at a youthful frame still growing into manhood. A collection of walking sticks, more ornate than practical, suggested a reliance on support, perhaps a consequence of the bone disease that had plagued him since childhood. Vials of perfumed oils and jars of cosmetic pigments spoke of a desire to maintain appearances, to project an image of strength and vitality despite the fragility that lay beneath the surface. These were the belongings of a young man on the cusp of adulthood, his life a tapestry woven with threads of privilege and pain. And then there was the mask itself, the iconic golden visage that has become synonymous with Tutankhamun's name. The youthful features, frozen in time, seemed to hold a hint of melancholy, a silent acknowledgement of a life unlived, a potential unrealized. Tutankhamun died so young, barely out of his teens, shocking the archaeological community and the world. He ascended to the throne of a powerful civilization, only to be struck down before making his mark. His brief reign and untimely death secured his place in history. His undisturbed tomb ensured his name would be linked to a significant archaeological discovery. Tutankhamun's legacy extends beyond treasures, reminding us of life's fragility and the quest to unravel the past. Despite the wealth of knowledge gleaned from his tomb, Tutankhamun remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and speculation. The exact circumstances of his birth, the true nature of his reign, and the cause of his untimely death continue to spark debate and fuel the imaginations of historians and enthusiasts alike. Was he a puppet ruler manipulated by powerful advisors in the wake of his father's radical religious reforms? Or did he, despite his young age and physical ailments, exert a level of agency and authority that belied his years? The whispers of conspiracy persist, fueled by the discovery of injuries on his mummified remains and the political intrigue that often plagued the Egyptian court. Was he the victim of a tragic accident, or did darker forces play a hand in his demise? The answers to these questions, like the sands of time themselves, continue to shift and elude our grasp. Yet it is perhaps in the very nature of these unanswered questions that Tutankhamun's enduring allure lies. He remains a symbol of the past's ability to captivate and intrigue us, reminding us that some stories are destined to remain forever shrouded in mystery. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was more than just an archaeological triumph. It was a cultural phenomenon that captured the world's imagination. The boy king's treasures became tangible links to a civilization that had flourished millennia ago. Through these objects, we gain insights into the beliefs, values, and daily lives of the ancient Egyptians. Tutankhamun's story reminds us of the importance of preserving our shared human heritage. By studying the past, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. King Tutankhamun's story captivates our imaginations. Though his reign was brief, his legacy resonates across millennia. The discovery of his tomb provided an unprecedented glimpse into ancient Egyptian civilization. From the awe-inspiring treasures to the mysteries surrounding his death, Tutankhamun's story reminds us of the importance of exploration and discovery. His tomb continues to inspire and educate, offering a window into a world both familiar and different. If you found yourself lost in the intrigue of King Tut's story, give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us continue to unearth these incredible tales of history and share them with the world. And if you're hungry for more adventures into the past, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're constantly exploring new corners of history, from ancient civilizations to forgotten mysteries, bringing the past to life in all its glory. Join our ever-growing family of history enthusiasts and embark on a journey through time with us. We'll delve into ancient tombs, unravel historical enigmas, and unearth the stories that have shaped our world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.